What's up for this land fam? Been a long time since I did any videos, but I'm back and I've got a series of them ready to go. And I want to start off this new round of videos with a review of some boots. Some time ago, I posted a review of the Barefoot Bruin Barefoot boots. Was not a fan of them. I have since acquired the Jim Green Barefoot African Rangers, and I wanted to share my thoughts comparing these two to give you an idea of where you'd like to go in your barefoot boot journey, assuming you're a barefoot boot journey kind of person. So, let's get a little closer on the table and we'll talk about them. Alright, I'm going to talk a bit about these boots here, show you some of the things. I'll review a little bit about what the Bruins were like, and then dive into how all of the things wrong with these are fixed and dealt with in the other one. So, like right off the bat, the first thing I had with the Bruins that went wrong was not my dog trying to eat them, but when I went to go pull them on, I found out that stitches that appear as though they're doubles are in fact single stitches when it comes to the tongue and the other space. And so I had a pair that I sent back. I pulled them on. Like I pulled the tongue right off just trying to slip on the boots. Then there was the delamination. It took a week or two before this was starting to just peel away and peel off of the boot. And let's keep in mind, these guys I only wore for a couple of months before I was like, screw that. These are just not it. And then even on the sole, like you can see I have an uneven wear, like heel drag pattern. I need to work on how I walk, but I'm at the point here where with these, just after a couple of months, I'm nearly to the point where I have to replace the sole, the entire sole, right? Because if I start wearing through to this midsole area, that's not really a replaceable piece of the boot, whereas the sole, the outer sole is. And yeah, I can't replace these, but after 2 months of wear, I shouldn't have to be doing that, right? And so after 2 months, and even here on this part, again, more delamination and peeling away. And that's just after having worn them for a couple of months. They just weren't holding up. They're light and incredibly comfortable. Like they're a joy to wear. But the fact is that I spent, $250 on these things. And there was a promise from the maker that these were durable, high-end boots. You could do durable things in them. And you can for like a day, and then they're done. They're over. And so it's one of those and I appreciate the fact that when we're talking about durable, rugged, minimalist footwear, there's a bit of an oxymoron there. But I do believe there is a way to have that kind of rugged durability quality to a reasonable point while also maintaining a minimalist feel. And so these did not meet that criteria. These did not hit that point. Even regularly, you can see here this hook bent. These are constantly being bent and being pulled out, and I was constantly having to push them. And it's like, look, I just boop, boop. All I would do is just go pinch them and put them back. But it's like that was like an everyday thing. That was a all the time thing. And so there came a point where I spent most of my time worried about how I was damaging these boots than walking around thinking I have a good ground feel and I'm protected. Enter the Jim Green Barefoot African Ranger. I feel confident saying, screw those guys. These guys come in to enter the picture, and everything the Osos promised to be, these guys are. They're a bit lighter than the Oso altogether. And granted, they're not as tall, right? They don't have as high of an ankle. They do now make a version of these with a taller ankle, if that's your style. But the reality is like having them be light and nimble and kind of tennis shoe-ish in a way. Again, this is the weird headspace minimalist footwear operates. But having that be a reality is fantastic. No delamination anywhere. The leather is thicker, and so there's a bit more protection from the environment on them. And the soles, like you can see, I still have that uneven walking pattern, but This, where I still have quite a ways to go before I'm looking at replacing and having an outsole issue, this is from almost 8 months of wear compared to the 2 months on the Oso. And look under here. On the Oso, first off, that tread pattern on the Oso was infuriatingly tiny. Like the speed with which these little nubs just got packed in and you were wearing a slick made them utterly useless in anything but dryness. Like dryness, like barren desert dryness. If you walk through a mud puddle and then some dirt and you have a racing slick on the bottom of your feet. It was nonsense. And then these little things just keep breaking off all over the place. And again, with 4 times the amount of wear, this is what I have. I got like a little gash in here from stepping on like glass or something, or a nail, and I'm still not as close to the actual midsole after 4 times the wear as I was on the other ones. So they're lighter. These are actually tough and strong and hold on well. They're faster and easier to put on. They're more comfortable when you wear them. Well, I guess that's a matter of perspective. I'm generally uncomfortable as a rule, so I guess I enjoyed these more just because I knew that I didn't have to worry about them falling apart when I was wearing them. And so this idea of there being a promise of a minimalist piece of footwear that is also rugged and durable is a promise that has been kept by Jim Green. That's why these, if this is your vibe and this is your feel, man, I can't recommend these enough. They have a higher ankle version if you want them. And they do take a little bit of time to break in. But like, yeah, this leather is thicker than this leather, but it's a lot thinner than normal work boots, and so they break in quick. The breaking in is actually the footbed, where over time of walking, you end up in the leather on the insole, getting the actual like these little divots for your toes and your toes to settle in on. And then when you put it in, it's like bam, that's a glove, and it feels good and it feels nice. Wide toe box, flat. These are wonderful boots, and I highly recommend them because I think they do the thing that I personally and a lot of others have been desperately waiting to have, is something that could be a boot but also be minimalist and attend to that natural movement and usage and whatever, you know, the things the foot does when it's the way it's supposed to be. All right. I hope that's helpful. It's kind of short, but essentially, these promise and don't deliver. These promise and deliver. Quality, not quality. Straddles that weird line between minimalist and rugged workwear. Doesn't know where the line is. Jim Green, awesome. Barefoot Oso, not awesome. Hope that is helpful to all of you. Godspeed, and do stupid things in safe ways.